internet jumping. I went down, it was up on ASCP. See, was worried about he's worried about me.
All right, we're on.
You on Facebook?
Yeah, we'll see how everyone's starting to log in.
I don't see it on our fan page.
All right, we're on.
You on Facebook?
Yeah, we'll see how everyone's starting to log in.
I don't see it on our fan page.
All right, we're on.
You on Facebook?
Yeah, we'll see how everyone's starting to log in.
Okay, where do you check to see? I guess we lost the Donald again.
Yeah, he has to come back in.
Oh, that was him echoing like that?
Nah, that was the other side.
I don't see this. I don't see this on our fan page.
Welcome, Lynn. See Monica from Atlanta, Georgia. Alicia from Atlanta, welcome. Cardell, Gainesville, Florida. Gregory Hill, Tallahassee. Jeff from Middletown, New York, welcome. Phil Jackson, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Welcome, welcome. I just saw Terry just bounced in from Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome, Terry. How you doing, Jeff? Welcome. Daryl Banks, Raleigh, North Carolina. PJ, Maryland, welcome.
We had Ken Lawrence there from Gonzales, Louisiana as well.
Welcome, Ken.
Jamal Page from Columbia, South Carolina. Herschel Gibbs from Phoenix, Arizona. And Julie Ross from Atlanta. And Munn from, hello.
Hello, there you go.
All right, Daryl Banks is ready to go. So we ready to get started?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll just do this. I'll say this to kind of get us started if we're ready to go. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy that you're here. tonight we're going to focus on the buyers program. So that's what you're going to hear about is the MWR Real Estate Buyers Program. We're going to show you where to go, how to get it set up, and then what the program is. So Mario and Todd, do you want to start off with where to go, or do you want to start off what the program is, and then we'll show them how to connect to it once they have seen what the program is and what's required?
We can start off with how the program works. You know,
Okay.
we can let Mario kick it off. We have the presentation already queued up, and then we can just show them where to go after we've given them the information on how the program works.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm going to bring on the CEO and founder of the U.S. Housing Exchange. He is becoming a fast friend. I love his heart for seeing people win and wanting to do whatever is required, whatever is necessary to see people win. You're going to hear some great details. You understand his background is it's sports related, and he made it all the way to the NFL. And then he decided that wasn't what God called him to ultimately be. And he had to go through life like we all do. Life happens. We go broke. We do all kinds of stuff. And he's been able to come back from that. Really took his second career, and the same fervor that he took to go get his first career to make it to that level, he's now done it in his second career. For the last 12 years, he has been running and operating the U.S. Housing Exchange with the help of Todd Lane, the Chief Information Officer. And so the information that he's going to share with you is, now that we have this relationship with the U.S. Housing Exchange and MWR Real Estate, we are going to show homeowners how they can go out and have a clear path on how to be homeowners. So that's what this program is all about. And so the call is yours, or this, I guess, podcast is yours, Mario.
Thank you. Good evening. In a big time lapse, I am about to say good morning. So what we can do, Tom, when we get to the part of the website, just take over from there, because then you can be able to guide them more down, whichever it is that you want to do. But my story really kind of relates back to, when I watch a lot of these documentaries, and you hear about somebody like Harriet Tubman, who was a slave herself, and then was able to free herself and then go back to rescue as many people to take them out of slavery as you can. I came from having bad credit. That's where I came in. This whole company was started, and why you were sitting here today was because I got embarrassed at the car dealership when they ran my credit, and they had me lose my mister when I walked into the car dealership. So I took a quest to be able to understand every single law that was related to my credit score. And I fought and fought and fought. So then now what we are doing is helping people get a second chance, or a first chance for some people who always wanted to own a house, but that credit was the hurdle, or you didn't know, or you weren't confident, or you just needed that extra push. Because we want everybody to fire the landlord. That's what this whole thing is about, is MWR Real Estate and U.S. Housing Exchange merging and creating the rally cry to the masses to fire the landlord. All right, so let's roll with it. Okay, so outside of just having the passion of wanting to own a house for pride, I'm going to tell you a couple other reasons why you are going to want to own a house. The number one reason is inflation. So right now in 2021, the average, and I know Don was laughing seeing 2584, but it's national average, not in New York, not in California, but across the board, we're looking at about 2584 for a 3-bedroom house. That's what the averages are. You can get some a little higher, a little something lower. But now watch this. Now, when we look at 30 years, for the people who are just renting, who's just saying, you know what, I don't want to own a house, it's too much responsibility, I don't want to be able to fix anything, I want to just call the landlord when something comes. Now, when we look about 2.2 to 2.5% inflation rate, that same rent that you would be paying today at $2,000 some odd dollars, it's going to balloon up in tomorrow's dollars at $5,189. So now think about whatever your age is right now, and you put what you're paying right now The problem is you're going to have to save money for tomorrow's dollars and tomorrow's prices. And as you start to look at it, you're going to see that $5,000 every single month, and most of the people that's on this call will be retired by that time. You can actually see that financially it can't work. Our goal is to match motivated buyers, which really is a term that we created, because a motivated buyer is just a person that's got to rent, because there's no avenue, or there's very few avenues that you can actually plug in and be able to be connected. So our program, Fire Your Landlord, is going to match the motivated buyer, which would be our buyer, our lifelong renter, and matching it with a motivated seller, a homeowner that needs to sell their house quickly due to issues like divorce, foreclosure. They might have an inherited house. They may be having a house that they want to sell that's going to be as is, that has a whole lot of repairs. We want to match both of those people up, and then we're going to make a deal. So who qualifies for this motivated buyer? Because we can't help everybody, but the good thing about what we're doing at MWR Real Estate is we don't decline anybody. We give you a game plan to come back to us. So if you don't qualify for the buyer right now, don't be dejected, because we're going to be doing these podcasts, and you plug in, and then we're going to show you what you need to do. Even if it took you a year or two, it doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere. MWR Financial's not going anywhere. MWR Real Estate's not going anywhere. So you just plug in and make sure that as long as you're following the path, you'll be there. Okay, so you need 2 years of full-time documented income. Okay, now if you're self-employed, go to the next, put the things up there. You got to be current on your bills for 60 to 90 days. We'll make a judgment call on a case-by-case basis. We were just reviewing some people who kind of jumped the gun a little bit and had some applications in the system. And before you guys chimed in, we were going through it in real time. So don't think because you put an application in and we didn't get to you or anything like that. We're talking. Us three was just talking before we logged in. But you got to be current. You cannot come to us and you're late right currently on a debt that's there because you're not ready yet. You have to get yourself to a point where you're current on your bills. Okay? Now, you got to save 3.5% to 5% of the purchase price. Now, this is pretty unique, because what I want you to do is this evening, write it down, go on Google, go on Craigslist, and put in owner finance or put in lease option in the heading and watch to see how much they're asking you to put down. You might be putting down 20 or 30% without batting an eyelash, because they're going to want you to have all kinds of different equity that you have in skin in the game that you're putting in to show that you're serious about owning the house. We're not going to do that to you. If you got more of a challenged credit situation, and you know who you are when you fill out your information. If we take you and you're in your credit, more of a challenged situation, but we take you, you might have to put down 5%. But the average person will put down 3.5%. Some people, we may say, you know what, we need you in the credit program MWR a little bit longer. So then maybe then after 30 days or so, you might have to be able to only put down 3.5%. So an example, you have a $200,000 house, and some people might not be good at percentages. So that 3.5% on a $200,000 house means that you need $7,000 to $10,000. The percentage is going to be based on your profile. Not that, everybody pretty much comes to us mostly with bad credit. But, there's bad credit that you did 3 years ago, and there's bad credit that you did 3 months ago. There's a difference, and we see that when we look at the credit report. Now, while we're in the program, once we buy you a house, you need to be saving another 2% for your closing costs. We're not going to say you need that prior, but by the time we close, you're going to need to come up with some more money for the closing costs. When you have a closing, you have to pay for the mortgage. You have to pay for your homeowner's insurance. You have to pay for title insurance. Title insurance is insurance that you have to buy. So then if there was any liens prior to you owning the house, that the title company would insure it, so you're not responsible for it. That's what title insurance is. But your mortgage company is going to demand it. And then there's other things. There's taxes. There's a lot of little things that comes. That's closing costs. You're going to need to make sure you're saving that 2% while you're in your process where you're temporarily renting after we buy you a house. And plus, you got to have the desire to own a house. Not want, desire. Because when you have that desire, you're not just getting what you want today and then by tomorrow you're bored. We're not looking for those people. We're looking for the people who's tired of paying that rent payment and paying the landlord's mortgage instead of your own. We want people that is going to follow the plan that we lay out for you. Our system is proven. The only variable will be you. We've proven our system. Okay? So now we're going to lay out the foundation. It's going to start with MWR Financial. They're going to start it. And then by the time you get to MWR Real Estate, so don't get confused. There's MWR Financial, which is your membership. MWR Real Estate is where you're applying. And then you end up with U.S. Housing Exchange. We don't want people coming directly to us. We want it to filter through the membership. Because then what's going to happen? If I'm having a problem, I talk to Adamo, he's going to be like, I don't see this person. And then what happens is that's how we're selecting our people. So if you're not through their system, we can't select you. So you have to follow the plan we lay out for you. All right? What makes a person successful within the program? Got to pay your bills on time. If you've had credit challenges, a lot of times you didn't pay a bill for whatever reason. We're not here to judge you. But once you get in with us, we're locked in. We married. You got to pay your bills on time. We're going to demand that every single account that you have that reports to the credit bureau, that you show evidence that you're in auto pay. Because we got people that's going to put up money for you to buy a house, and they're also going to be members of the same organization you're in. You got the members of MWR Financial buying properties for the same people that we're all in. So we don't want to make sure that if we invest in you, don't let us down. Answer the phone, email, or text. Because if we need to get in contact with you, it's not because we're trying to discuss the score of the ball game. We like we like to talk about a lot of different things. We like to grind and chuck it up and everything. But I promise you, I will not call you with a not joke. If we're contacting you because we need something. So whether it's your phone, email, please do not be that person that has the bad credit because you can't manage your time. And because you can't manage your time, you're always into a position where your life is in flux. We want to make sure that when we help you, you're able to answer the phone. It's like the vet phone. And if you can't answer the phone because you're at your job or something like that, shoot us a text, shoot us an email. When you get your lunch break, call us because we need something. And I said this in the last slide. Follow directions. It's going to be the biggest purchase you make in your lifetime. And I don't know how many of you have ever watched The Matrix, but at the beginning of that movie, it's the coolest part because you got the guy, Neo, who was played by, what's that guy's name?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, you remember he's in the office and then he's being talked to, he answers the phone, and then they're telling him every single thing to do. But if he didn't do that, he was going to die. So he followed every single direction and got out of there, and it was like, wow, is he going to get caught? So it was just like that. Now, you're not going to die if you don't follow our directions, but you're probably not going to be successful in buying a house. So we just want you to follow the plan we let you go in. And the ability to remain focused, just as I mentioned, we are in our people's lives for the 4 to 6 months that they're in our program. And your ability, and what I've noticed from doing credit, from dealing with over 50,000 people since 2001, I can say that honestly, the biggest separation between the people who have good credit and the people who have bad credit is the ability to remain focused. I talked to a friend of mine today. His father died a couple days ago, and he's there working and doing a loan for somebody. I was like, gosh, man. I said, Pops just died. He says, what do you think my pops would want me to do? I got to handle my business. You see what I mean? So I have to remain focused. So that's, and people are going to be who they are. I don't expect people to hear a webinar and totally change their life, but it's an observation that I've met that sometimes people let the drama control them, because we all have it. You know, Adamo, myself, Todd, we all have drama. It all is there. I can, you know, sometimes we'll start talking to each other and talk about all the drama that we're dealing with, but you still have to remain focused. That's the bottom line. And also, please, you know, don't buy nothing new while you're in the program. Get with us before you have to buy something, especially cars. Cars will, you know, it's a very, very delicate balance. So when we pre-qualify somebody, we're pre-qualifying you based upon the money that you can prove. Not the money that you make, the money that you claim. Okay? Because some self-employed people may be making 10 grand a month, but through our tax service, which I'm not mad at them, they may write off everything and only show them $1,000 a month, which is fine for you to reduce your taxes, but guess what? Now you don't qualify for it. So we're going to have something for those people in those situations. But if you're in a situation where we pre-qualify you, it's calibrated to be exactly what you have right now with the current debts. You go out there and you buy a car that's $200-300 more than what you're paying now, you could have blown your entire deal, and you could have forfeited your money that's non-refundable when you do a deal. So let us know if that's something that you're going to do while you're in our program. Okay, so it really should be going from MWR Real Estate to U.S. Housing Exchange. There is a relay, so it's not anything for anybody to be confused about. You just have to follow the directions. MWR Real Estate, you're going to get there through your financial membership, which Todd will show you when we get to that screen. So you're going to go in there. That's where you're going to get the preliminary information about how the program is going to work. Then once you fill out your application, bam, you're right into U.S. Housing Exchange mainframe. And then you're not in the MWR Real Estate anymore. You're only in the MWR Real Estate when you're collecting the preliminary information. Once you go through and sign up for the program, you're officially with U.S. Housing Exchange. So we'll repeat that again, but it shouldn't be something that you get too confused about. So during our process, it would start with obviously you having the desire to want to fire your landlord. Then what's going to happen, you got to have the MWR Financial Plan of Action, which means that you have to be in the credit portion of the program, debt elimination, the debt negotiation, and your taxes. So we want you to be in all aspects of the program. Just when you get to the taxes part, be careful on what you write off. Okay, so just, you know, obviously you're going to have the home-based business, so you're going to get those credits. But let's make sure that we pre-qualify you and get you into a house before you write off everything. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to apply to U.S. Housing Exchange through MWR Real Estate. Then what's going to happen is you're going to have your questionnaire, and when you get the questionnaire, we're going to select you. You're going to know you were selected. If we didn't contact you, it's because Adamo stated that we're going to have an enrollment period. Some of you jumped the gun. That's fine. We have your application. We're not ignoring you, but we need to get the green light from the president. Okay? So once we get the green light, then we're going to start contacting you if your application was something that we approved. Then we want to pre-qualify you with our lender, Cardinal Financial. So then you're going to have documents just like you were doing a mortgage. You're going to need to be able to give us your W-2s, paychecks, tax returns if you're self-employed, etc. Then once we get that, that's going to determine to see how much house you can qualify for. So then once you know how much house you can qualify for, you're going to have an idea of what the mortgage payment is going to be. So then once you know the amount of house that you can buy, we're going to select you with one of our certified realtors. The certified realtor is going to understand our buying parameters. So please, 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 please do not start sending us properties that you found online, because we have a system on how we find our properties. So if you find something, we have to buy it at a wholesale cost. So then now we can, it encourages our capital contributors to want to invest in buying this house for you. Remember, you got somebody, you got a brother or sister in your same program that's going to be your investor, but they have to also make money. Okay, they're helping you, but they're doing it also because they're going to make some money on the deal. Okay, so the certified realtor's job is to find properties that fit our parameters. You have to be patient because we're right now in the biggest sellers market that in my lifetime, which means that there's more buyers in the market than there are properties. But we do have some ideas on how we're going to solve that issue. I'm not going to bore you with that detail right now because we're going to be now thinking that we're going to be finding a property just on the MLS. We got to make an adjustment. You'll know in due time what those adjustments are going to be. Okay? So then now you find a property that you like. We're going to put an offer on the property, assuming we have the offer accepted, we're going to buy the property. Then we're going to get with you and we're going to have packages. We have about 3 packages on how we do our rehabs. So then, you know, every property is going to have new kitchen, new bathroom, you know, paint of your choice, as long as it's not a non-neutral color. Remember I said it, you heard me over the weekend because that's why they laughing. That's why I know on Tom's laughing right now because they know what I'm about to say. No pizza sauce red. No pizza sauce red, or no, I love Prince, I'm going to paint my house purple. No. You can't do that, because if you, for whatever reason, don't buy that house, you lose your job, you get struck down with lightning, whatever happens, God forbid that happen, but we have to sell that house. So that's what we have to do. So then now the rehab work is going to start. The great thing about the rehab is you're going to be able to watch it in real time during work hours. You're going to have access to an app, and you're going to be able to log in and see what is going on. And you're going to get, yeah, red door is okay. And you're going to get updates in real time on what's happening. So you're going to be kept abreast of what's happening. Then when we're done, you're going to move into the property temporarily. Okay, so then you're going to be actually in there, and we're only charging you about 1 point over what your mortgage would be, which means that we're not gouging you with a high rent. And then once we get your credit score over the hump, then guess what? Your landlord is fired. So that's our process. It could be 4 months. It could be 6 months. What's the variable? You. You're the variable. How fast can you give us the documentation that we're asking for? Making sure you're giving us information that you get from the bureaus. If you get a collection notice, we need to know. Anything that's happening, we got to know. Open all your mail. Because collection letters, they come like regular unmarked mail. They're not going to, hey, it's the collection agency. They don't do that. A little simple letter, if you ignore it, it's on your credit report in 30 days. So now it's harder for us to be able to do something. You delayed yourself. Items needed for the mortgage pre-qualification. You know, some of you are like, I got a 520 credit score. Well, we're self-financing here. So that's what we're doing with MWR Real Estate, is that you are being pre-qualified for a mortgage that we are temporarily financing for you. Okay? So as long as you're there to get help, and as long as you're there to receive help, and you're there to follow directions, we will be successful. We need 2 years of W-2s, last 2 years. Okay, if you didn't file 2020, give us 2019 and 2018, but understand you got to file. And if you've never filed, you can't come to us until you file. Okay, 2 most recent paycheck stubs, 60 days worth of bank statements, which is 2 bank statements. And if you're going to be self-employed, or you get 1099s, we need 2 years of that. If you only have 1 year, you don't qualify to use that income. Okay, and there's a little bit more detail with that, but Keith from Carlton will be on here next Wednesday, and he can break down more on what that's actually going to be.
Well, thank you, Mario. That was a great overview of the program and breaking down the information for our members. I hope I'm sure it's been beneficial to all those that are on the call. I'm going to bring up now, we talked about how the program works, but now we're going to show you how you can access and what the process that Mario mentioned about how you go through MWR real estate to get to U.S. Housing Exchange. So when you go into your MWR Final Edge membership, once you're logged in, all you have to do is click on Services, and you go down to Wealth Accumulation and click Member Access. Got to log back in. My services, Wealth Accumulation, Members Access. And when you're in Member Access, you'll see the MWR Real Estate. Just click on Member Access. You'll see a description of the program and the highlights of the program. And then you just click on Get Started. And then that's when you get sent over to U.S. Housing Exchange. We have some more information that goes through the program and gives you greater detail of the program. We have videos. You can navigate. We have 4 videos that explain again the qualifications.
On that particular part, remember to have them hit those arrows, because that's how you're going to see the rest of the videos. So that's what that is. So you're going to see the pre-qualification video first. You look at that video, then you look at each one of these videos. Okay, now the pre-qualification video is a little dated because it says if you have a repossession, we can't help you. That's untrue now. If you have a repossession, we can help you as long as it's charged off status. And we're working on a new video that's not going to state that. So, kind of keep that in mind. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, so as Mario mentioned, these 4 videos that go through the qualification process and the program, you can go through there. We have a frequently asked questions. Make sure you look at that video. And once you've reached the videos, you just click on Get Started. And then this is where we can start the application process, and you can provide us with the information that will be used to determine whether you're approved for the program or you might have to be put into a game plan status. Okay. So that is our program.
You want to go back just go back here so they can see the testimonial at the bottom.
Yeah.
So these are some testimonial videos. This is one of our clients, Willie Crenshaw.
Okay, open up the screen so you can see the full video.
29, my goals always been to own a home and stop paying someone else. You see, I see why we stay up all night. Create hit mission. Focus always told me it was destined for greatness. When it comes to go time, this house is amazing, and it's simple work that needs to be done. Here, it's no major work that needs to be done. Simple work. This work in here can be done in a week if you really put your thoughts into it. Simple, but this is a.
We're having a problem there.
But as you can see, the video's a little choppy going through the internet. But again, once you guys apply for it, you'll be able to have access to the videos, and you can see actual clients that have gone through the program and went from renting to homeowners. Actually, this particular Derek Huggins, he was actually living in a hotel before he got into our program. So you can definitely look at these testimonials for yourself.
And scroll, you can see more testimonials, because there's I think we put about 4 on our site. See if the one on the farthest right one can play. Try that.
So Angela, what was it like? What is it like to be a new homeowner? What do you feel?
I am overwhelmed, overjoyed after 24 years.
24 years, huh?
Being with the worst landlords. I mean, not all of them were bad, but enough of them were.
Wow.
It's just something I didn't think could come true for me.
Well, you did it.
For my family.
You did it. I'm happy.
Excited and so happy, and I just thank God.
Okay.
He helped me and used a ton of people.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah, it's rough. So you guys get my drift. Is you want to look at everything so you can have the confidence to see people that gone through it, they followed it, they ended up at the closing table. And we're going to work by the next time we have this. We'll try to figure out how you guys can be able to see a video without being so choppy. But you know, that's kind of where it is. So right now, Todd, is that everything as far as the presentation? Is we good for Q&A?
Yeah, we just questions.
Okay.
Well,
So
we have,
Damo's going to field them. Damo's going to field the questions, and he will let us know which one that we can answer, because he'll let us know, and then we'll answer.
well, someone asked where the videos are housed, and everyone, it's on the U.S. Housing Exchange website. That's where they are currently. You will see them as they evolve. We'll do some things where you'll be able to see them in a different place. But right now, they're currently on the U.S. Housing Exchange video under the buyers program. So that's the only question so far. Everything was so straightforward. It would be shocking to me to get a lot of questions here. Anyone else have any questions? Just put it in the comments or the chat, and we'll answer them, or then we're going to go on and wrap up if there are no questions. If you like what you heard and you understand the program, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Bankruptcy. Someone's asking, I guess, if you have a bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy, as long as we go from 2 years from the discharge date. When you're 6 months from the 2 years, we can consider you if everything else is fine, you're current and everything, because we know that you can close on your house in 2 years. Okay, now, you know, people that have a whole lot of student loans, even if they're in deferment, which Keith will break down a lot next week, they're going to be counting 1% of what you owe in your debt ratio. So if you are a bankruptcy and you got student loans, and that means we can't take you into another program that won't do that, that's where it gets a little challenging for it, because then, you know, then we got to look. So we'll look at things on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Richard Gear and a whole bunch of people, but he said, thank you for sharing the information, and we're getting a bunch of thumbs up. We're getting some great presentations, gents, some fires, great program, way to work out the kinks team. So we're getting all the love. It was very straightforward. Everyone understands it. So we're going to have them go through it. Now, keep in mind, some of you, as Mario said, jump the gun and you just put your stuff in there. So if you get a call back and say, hey, we need to do this or that, and we're tighten it up, then that's what will happen. You'll see this program evolve, because keep in mind, we are still inside of the beta test, if you will. When I say beta test, is that our two companies working together to work out all the kinks so it becomes seamless to all of you, and that's still going on, and we're making progress on a daily basis, but it's a lot to encounter, a lot to do, but we're getting it done. And even with that, in spite of all that, we're still seeing people love the program. We're going to help you go through and walk you through that program, and those that qualify for the program to go up front. And if you're not ready yet, it's okay. This is the power of MWR Financial, because all you do is you plug into not only the services, but some of you may say, wow, I have a little bit of money, or how am I going to get that 2% per, 2% extra for the closing costs? Where is that going to come from? I'm already working, and I already make what I make, and I don't have it. That's what building an MWR Financial business is all about. And imagine you can build a business by simply sharing with people that a way for them to come and be homeowners. They come and join your business when they want to get into the program. So you're able to talk to people all around the way you've done it before, just piquing interest and showing people and putting them through the system, letting the system sort them out. That's what we're going to continue to do, is just make it real simple and just share the good news that is MWR Financial. And so you're able to go in there, lower your debt, improve your credit scores. You're also able to start paying off that debt, negotiate the recurring debts down, so it frees up money so you can get those debts down so you can qualify for more. So there's all kinds of ways to help you get in the position. But the biggest thing that will help you, the biggest, and you could ask Mario, I'm going to ask him a question on this, is make more money and you will be in a position. Because Mario, if I was on the lower end of the credit scores and I was on the lower end where I was, just like my bankruptcy just finished and I had all those issues, but I had 20, 30, 40% to put down, would there be any question about being able to put me in a home?
No.
No, none. Right?
Cash is king, man.
Cash is king. So go out there and build your business and build a big business. And then you will be able to have the cash flow that you need to go help you go where you want to go. So that's the power of what we do. That's why Mario said we don't turn anyone down. We just give you a game plan. You execute that game plan. Part of that game plan, make more money.
Yeah.
Build your MWR Financial business. It'll take you there.
Man.
So
we got a question here with PJ Holmes.
yes.
Can I get a down payment assistance from a nonprofit organization? The thing what we want, PJ, is that you could do that possibly, once you're trying to get a mortgage, but there is no private, you gotta use your money.
Right.
Because that shows us that you're serious about doing something, and then you use the membership exactly what Adamo just said, because you want to be able to make sure you don't need the help from another organization. When you get that tax return, you get that stimulus, that was your down payment. So then if you spent that or something like that, then we need to game plan a way, introduce more people to the organization. You get $600 for everybody that you refer into the program that goes through that buys a house. So then refer people. 10 people, that's $6,000.
So so obviously there's multitude of ways just building your MWR Financial business in all of those ways what Mario just mentioned, or sharing the good news that's MWR Financial to bring that cash flow and that money for you. So we're there. Any other questions? Everyone's just thanking us and a bunch of thumbs up. By the way,
I appreciate the love that we're getting. We promised that this program will evolve. We promised that if there's any bottlenecks going on or anything that comes in that, we're working out all the kinks. So everything is coming together. Everything. So
right.
we're here every week.
All right. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming and attending this podcast. We'll keep it going. Go out there and make a difference in people's lives today. Let them know what MWR Financial is all about, and go build your business so we can absolutely crush it when we come to getting people to become homeowners.
You guys can start signing up. So you guys can go to what the whole thing is, because we're starting to select our 50 people. So if you feel like you are in the program and you're doing something, you can fill out the questionnaire and we can go accordingly. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you, Adamo, Todd, and look forward to seeing you guys knocking this thing out again.
Okay.
Take care.